Starting. Whenever I hear the word reflections, I'm reminded of the final days of December 2021. Now I want to ask all of you a question. What is the one thing that we all set every December and plan to follow the following year? Anyone? New Year resolutions, that's right. Now I often say New Year resolutions are really interesting. We set them by December, resolve to follow them the following year, begin strongly by the 1st of Jan, and eventually give up by the 30th of Jan. In fact, there is a famous Italian saying that may all our troubles in life be as short-lived as our New Year resolutions. Now, jokes apart, I remember it was December last year. As the world was bidding adieu to 2021 and was ready to welcome 2022, many of us were also preparing our New Year resolutions. Many of us would have resolved to exercise regularly, meditate daily, read punctually, and some late risers like me to wake up early. Sitting on my study table, I too was writing down my New Year resolutions. And being in the category of the expert multitaskers of this age, was scrolling down my social media simultaneously. As I continued this multitasking, there came one interesting post which caught my attention and I pressed a pause. This post had an image of a lion and was titled Simhavalokanam. Can any one of you tell me what does this term mean in one sentence? Anyone please?
Something to do with the lion's glance.
Okay.
Probably like awakening or like falling of the lions.
Quite close. Yes,
Lions
please.
fall.
Understanding of the Avalokan understanding.
I'll go on with it. This post explained that Simhavalokanam meant the glance of a lion. Now, if you observe the lion walking, as he takes a few steps, he always turns back and checks how far he has come from where he began, and then later looks in the front and continues to move ahead. As I read this post, this realization struck me that as I look forward to write down my New Year resolutions, I should also practice Simhavalokanam and reflect back at my life too. Looking at the examples around me, I observed that this principle of reflection was practiced by legends across fields. From Dr. A.P.J. Abdul Kalam, who would introspect after every project, to Sachin Tendulkar, who would review his performance after every game, to Steve Jobs, who would connect the dots backwards. And just like Steve Jobs, I too would be sharing with you my reflections through an acronym called T.E.A.M. T. As I complete my path of team collaboration today. Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and their guests. Now the T in the team stands for the skills this path taught to me in my journey. It was September 2018 when I had joined Toastmasters in the first year of my engineering and went on to select this path from the Pathways Manual. And what a coincidence it has been that as I complete my engineering this month, I also culminate with my path today. This path promised me a wholesome cultivation of different skills, ranging from active listening to leadership, motivation to communication, and the most central of them all, team building to public speaking. How did this path push me to hone these skills? At different stages of this path, the experience I got of working with different teams and evaluating different speeches gave me the opportunity to develop a patient ear to what others were saying. This made me realize that active listening is not just about listening to respond, but listening to understand and then respond. The different speech projects from level 2 and level 5 gave me the opportunity to explore my leadership styles and share my leadership experience of the vice president membership to the club. All through my journey, I observed that leadership is more about inspiration and action than just about manipulation and position. As the journey progressed, I got to work on a number of projects, which gave me a number of lessons on the dynamics of team building and motivation. That brings me to the E in the team, which talks about the experience I got while working through these projects. A project called FLIP, the Future Leaders and Innovators Program, which I was overseeing, aimed at giving a leadership opportunity to new members in the club. This taught me that if there is mutual respect between the team members, they can go on to form a great team. I also got to work on a project titled Project Osmosis, which culminated in the making of revised scripts for our tag role players. Working in this team, under the leadership of Toastmaster Ashwin, I understood and learned that if their members are motivated by a compelling cause, they are ready to burn themselves in the fire of cooperation. And lastly, as I led my own team of 3 to make a pathways progress sheet, which would act as a central repository for our club members' pathways progress data, made me realize how important clear communication and timely recognition are to drive the current of motivation in any team. Now, the core reason many of us come to Toastmasters is to deal with this one thing called glossophobia. Can anyone tell me what does this term glossophobia mean? Yes, please.
Fear of public speaking.
That's right, fear of public speaking. I joined Toastmasters with taking inspiration from my sister, who was a part of her speaking club in school. And I too was someone who wanted to hone and refine his speaking skills. This brings me to the A in the team on how this platform of Toastmasters gave me the opportunity to learn the art of public speaking. Every level of this path helped me master my fundamentals, learn different styles, develop my content, which added new dimensions to my speaking journey. As I spoke on different topics, ranging from personal stories to popular examples, leadership to mentoring, motivation to collaboration, this path didn't just widen my knowledge horizon, but it also helped me break open from a closed mindset of focusing on just a certain topics to opening my mind to explore and speak on a variety of them. Through this journey, I also got to experiment and dabble with different styles of speaking, from persuasive to informative, humorous to inspirational, which all ultimately helped me to influence my audience. Every speech, beginning with my icebreaker to now, pushed me notch by notch to help me discover the deeper reservoirs of my speaking skills. This this refinement of skills didn't just happen through the speeches I gave, but also the T.E.A.M sessions I conducted, the electives I attempted, and the evaluations I gave. I could have never imagined how all this development was going to play a role in my daily life, till I could see how all the skills that I'm learning here positively added to me performing well at internships, adding uniqueness to my resume, and succeeding at my placements. The culmination of this journey didn't just happen through my own hard work, but it also included the contributions of many around me. That completes my team, with the M in the acronym talking about the most central people to those contributions. My two mentors, Toastmaster Vivekanand and D.T.E.A.M Avinash, who have always been instrumental in my progress. And as they have been instrumental in my progress, their valuable inputs is something which I'm always grateful for. As I culminate this journey, composed of great accomplishments, invaluable learnings, inevitable failures, and happy experiences, it is this team which I recollect on how this path taught me different skills, gave me the experience of different projects, helped me understand the art of public speaking, and gave me the backing of supporting mentors. It is this team which reminds me of a popular quote on team building, that at the end of the day, building teams is all about molding hearts that thump together. Over to you.